Okay, thanks everybody for joining. So today we're going to cover the new product that we have available for sale this week, A2L mitigation kit and sensor. And before we get into the product details, we really wanted to touch on the industry and some of the requirements that are new for this industry and can be confusing for some. So let's dive right in. So really what's happening is this is governed by the EPA, and they're really trying to reduce the GWP value of some of the refrigerants that are used in the industry. So your typical refrigerants right now are in the 2100 GWP value. So A2L refrigerants bring that global warming potential value down into the 600 and 700 range. So while they're certainly better for the environment, better for the ozone layer, the trade-off is they become mildly flammable. And so when you think about those refrigerants in a closed loop system for residential or commercial HVAC, any type of leak in that system is really could really pose a problem. So really what the role of A2L sensing and mitigation is to sense for those A2L leaks and then perform mitigation tasks within the HVAC system. So the refrigerants that I'm referring to today are the R454B and R32 refrigerants. Those are the predominant refrigerants in HVAC systems today. This is what the industry is shifting to, and this is what you'll see out in the field today. So, like I mentioned, today's refrigerants are in the 2100 range for GWP, global warming potential, and the 454B and the R32 are down in the 600 range. So really, it's like I mentioned, a better refrigerant for the environment, but the trade-off being mild flammability. So we'll get into that a little bit more as we go through this. So as I mentioned, A2L refrigerants, high ignition energy and potential for low or slow flame spread. So again, while it's a safer alternative for the environment, a little bit more risky in home use, and the EPA has gotten together with ASHRAE and has set precedents on how the HVAC industry should be handling these refrigerants and what these HVAC systems need to do to mitigate any type of risk when there is a leak of the A2L refrigerant in your system. So again, they're much better for the environment. We've driven down the GWP value, the hydrofluorocarbons, and just in general, A2L refrigerants enable simpler designs. Retrofit costs go down. It's a reduction in complexity. But with that, the trade-off being we need a proper way of mitigating any type of risk that may happen. So for years, ICM Controls has produced and really perfected an A2L mitigation board. Our board has been tested, it's been deployed, tons and tons of units across the country. This board has been deployed for years. This board works. It has refrigerant leak detection capabilities. It's able to automatically shut off your system. It's able to turn on the fan when there is a leak. When they sense a leak, it's able to turn off the fan and really expel any type of A2L refrigerant that has leaked in your system. It's also able to shut down the compressor. And the reason for that is you don't want any type of spark when you have a mildly flammable A2L refrigerant to ignite some type of fire or flame. So it has all these capabilities. We've been working on this product for years. It's in OEM applications today. It just works. We've perfected that technology. So really, This is kind of a little bit behind what is driving the requirements. As I mentioned, it's really the EPA working with the American Innovation and Manufacturing Act, which really is trying to drive down HFC's production and really the total consumption. And this is a long-term play, right? This has been in the works for a while. And now what you're seeing in 2025, new residential systems must use refrigerants with the GWP of less than 700. So this is effectively banning your R410A refrigerants on new builds. And what you'll see in the coming years is this requirement will also parlay into light commercial systems. So this is why you see the industry stocking up on the old R410A. But as you install new systems that come with the new refrigerants, the R454B and R32, you have to be mindful and you have to mitigate those refrigerants in the event of a leak. So ASHRAE is also involved in all of this. They don't enforce the code, but what they do is they define the technical safety intent that everything else is built on. So they kind of write the rules for the system. They're not necessarily the referee, if that makes sense. So moving on, as I mentioned, you'll see more and more refrigerants coming about in 5, 10 years from now. The goal will be to lower that GWP value over time. So they're constantly working on new refrigerants, and the job of us as HVAC professionals is to really educate the HVAC community, contractors, distributors, and the like on what we need to do to comply with those requirements. You can see it across the OEM phase of the business, the OEM piece of the business.
Every mile you fly with us in main cabin or above, you earn mile towards.
So as A2L proliferates, you're starting to see it in heat pumps, residential split systems, RFUs, and also on VRS, variable refrigerant flow systems. So OEMs are starting to produce it. And on the contractor repair side of the business, it's incumbent on us to really educate the contractor database and really provide the solution for this new refrigerant. So contractors, there's certainly a lot of confusion out in the market right now. So they really must refresh certifications on A2L compliance. They need to be trained on some of the new safety protocols and really just get a greater understanding of the mitigation techniques and technologies available to them. So again, it's incumbent upon us as manufacturers, distributors, reps, to really educate ourselves on this space and help the local contractors become code compliant when it comes to this regulation. So with that, what does ICM Controls have today? So we have a kit, and it's our universal A2L mitigation board paired with the top sensor in the marketplace. And so really what this does, it's able to accomplish dual zone monitoring and control. So it's really monitoring the 24-volt side of the system, it being the thermostat. And it's able to integrate safely in current systems. So what it does, as I mentioned before, when it senses a leak, it's able to shut the compressor off. And again, the reason for that is a spark in the compressor could potentially ignite a A2L refrigerant leak. So shutting the compressor off is very, very important. And then it's also able to activate the fan. And so what the fan activation does is it expels any type of A2L refrigerant in the system. So this reduces the concentration below the flammability limits. There's also alarm outputs in the terms of flashing light that will tell you when an alarm condition is underway. So Really, this happens in real time. The sensing happens very, very quickly, and we'll get into some of the specifics on that. But it happens in real time. The sensor can work over and over again. It's not a one and done technology. In fact, the sensor itself has a 15-year lifespan, and in a lot of cases in lab testing, it's been proven to last 18 to 28 years. So this is something you're going to install as a contractor, as a homeowner, or sell as a distributor, and have some peace of mind that this is going to work now and into the future. So again, the flexibility of this product, really, it's a universal board. It's designed to work with basically any system out there. The logic on it can be configured for different OEM requirements, and it really uses that 24-volt control system, or that control source, to really perform the mitigation actions. Compact footprint, so it comes with a cover, can be installed, close to the evaporator coil, and that's where you want the sensor placed. So it's really just a little kit that installs and meets code compliance for A2L safety and mitigation. So the sensor itself uses speed of sound technology. This is the sensor that is the best sensor in the marketplace. A lot of the testing that UL does this is the benchmark. So this is really the Cadillac of all sensors, if you will. Has the widest operating temperature from minus 40 degrees C all the way up to 105 degrees C. That's, again, tops in the market. I don't believe anybody goes above 85 or 95 degrees C today. As I mentioned earlier, greater than 15-year lifespan. Lab testing is indicating anywhere from 18 to 28 years of lifespan. And really a low power consumption. This is not a power-hungry device. And the response time, so under 5 seconds, again, tops in the industry. So that's another thing to give you peace of mind. And no false alarms, so it's not going to detect coil, any type of coil overspray or any type of chemical that it shouldn't, right? It's going to detect A2L refrigerant, and again, it uses a technology that nobody else is using to do that. You've got a full spectrum of operating humidity, 0 to 100% relative humidity, and the device itself is IP54 for dust and water ingress. So really, what is the value proposition? So for the homeowner or the business owner, as this proliferates into the light commercial and commercial sides of the business, you get code compliance. You get enhanced safety, and you're able to protect your home and your HVAC equipment, right? It's a quiet device. You're not going to notice it running when you're near your evaporator coil. The contractor, very easy to install. You've got peace of mind knowing that you're using a unit that has been used in many large OEMs, has been developed by ICM over time, has been perfected over time. So ease of installation, fewer callbacks, very, very reliable performance, and most importantly, safety compliance. And your distributor, right? What's the value proposition for them? Well, this is a product, as regulations are coming and have been since January 1st of 2025. There's going to be a big transition to this, and the distributor needs to be educated, but also know that there's going to be high demand for this product as well. So the distributor definitely has a stake in all this as well. So our refrigerant, I should mention, is dual refrigerant capable. So you'll see some sensors on the market that just sense R32, or some that just sense R454B. The ICM controls Universal A2L mitigation kit senses both. So you don't have to worry about carrying extra SKUs. You don't have to worry about which refrigerant you're sensing. This will cover both. So again, built-in compressor lockout, fan activation. So there's no extra relays or anything that you have to put on board. It's going to lock out your compressor in under 5 seconds. It's going to activate that fan to expel the refrigerant leak in under 5 seconds. And also it's got Modbus communication. So that's what we use for the quick communication between the sensor and the board. And it is UL certified and manufactured here in the United States. So with that, like I said, this kit is going to be available for sale this week. And we've got sell sheets, we've got install guides, we've got technical support on the line, and always available to you as a resource. And we're here to answer any questions. So with that, I'll open it up. If there's any questions in the chat or if there's anything that we can help you with, please let us know.
What happened on this?
We just had one other question come through the chat from Jim as far as BAC net capable or system management capable.
So I think John Finetti answered that and saying not aware of BACnet compatibility.
I can speak to that for just a brief moment. So hello everyone, I'm Andy Butner. I'm the project engineer on this product. And I thank you for your question. Also, thanks for joining this webinar. It's great to have you here and great to be able to share some information about the product with you. So no, it is not BACnet capable. The communication protocol that we use with the sensors is Modbus. So it's an RS-485 port that communicates over the Modbus standard to those sensors. Now, the second half of that question says system management capable. We do have an output on the board that uses inverse logic, where you can have a building management system monitor the signal of 24 volts AC, and when that disappears, you can treat that as an alarm condition. So you can have a dedicated output from this board that you monitor with your building management system and say, when I lose that signal, I know I'm in a fault state.
Okay, thank you, Andy. William, did you have a question as well? Nope, we must have answered it with that one. Thank you.
And it looks like we have another question from Bart on approximate wholesale net price. We will be communicating that in the next couple days, so please stay tuned for that.
And we have our options. I mean.
William, did you have a question?
It's just the.
Okay, and Jim is asking if this item will be available at AHR next week.
Yes, Jim, we will have kits to show, and certainly by then this should be orderable for you.
I'm just checking in. William, did you have a question or comment for us? Just see a hand up on there. All right,
Yeah,
if
William,
not,
feel free to email your question in and we'll take care of it.
perfect. And that's all the questions we have in the chat for now.
Okay. So with that, we'll wrap up. Thank you all for attending the webinar. We're certainly excited to talk more about this at AHR. If you think of any questions after the fact, please feel free to reach out to the team. And like I said, we will be communicating pricing to you very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.